Hello once again. So it's time for another talking on the camera. Right, so what I'm going to be talking about today, the future of Microsoft Windows. So where is it going? Now, rumour has it Windows 12 is going to be AI, or it's going to have a lot of AI encoded or embedded into it. Now, I'm noticing AI now with like browsers. It just fucking annoys me. I don't use it, to be honest with you, but it's the future by the looks of it. Now, I'm currently using Windows 10 because if I were to install Windows 11, I have to upgrade my computer, or do I? I know damn well Windows 11 will run on this PC, even though it's not supported, which is basically only one thing, is the CPU is not supported. Just under the list, you know, it's just under the borderline where, like, supported CPUs or not supported CPUs. Mine just comes just under that line, because my PC's about 7 years old now, probably be 8 this year actually. So I used to upgrade my PC maybe once every 2 years ago. Then I built my last one. I think it was probably 10 years ago. Not this one I got now, but the one before that I built. But I had about 3 years and I upgraded to the one I have now. I have not upgraded for about 7 years. I just think, what the fuck's the point? Because I don't play modern games on it, so I'm just thinking, why do I need to keep upgrading my PC for? I'm just wasting more money. So I thought, no, I'll just leave it. So basically, the only thing that's stopping me from going to Windows 11 is the CPU. Everything else is compliant, but as I said, you can run Windows 11 on a non-supported computer. It has been done. Even Microsoft says you can do this. So it just makes me ask the question to Microsoft, what's the fucking point of restricting it then? If you can run Microsoft Windows 11 on all these PCs, why can't we? Why is there restrictions? Is it because you want more PCs sold? You're helping I don't know, probably loads of people. So perhaps you're in with these companies that sell PCs and parts and all that, Microsoft, but you can run Windows 11 on older systems, so why? So the requirements are, I think it's Trusted Platform, was it TPM, Trusted Platform Module 2.0, PCs must have, secure boot, at least 4 gig of RAM, and your CPU has to be over a certain requirement. Why? I have tested Windows 11 on a lot of my older PCs, and it installs if you do certain tweaking with a program called Rufus, which you get the ISO file from Microsoft, use this Rufus to make a USB ISO file, so you can install it, but you can eliminate TPM 2.0, secure boot, the processor requirements, and I think it's also 4 gigabytes of RAM that you have to have. Maybe that's okay, yeah, fair enough, because I think the standard is 8 gigabytes of RAM on PCs these days, which, okay, I can understand. And there's only a 64-bit version of Windows 11, no 32-bit. So 32 bits, you know, I'd say they're quite old now anyway. So does anyone own a 32-bit PC these days? Probably not, because we're talking about, probably talking about the early 2000s here, when the last of the 32-bit machines. before they went over to 64-bit. So yeah, I can understand it being 64-bit now. Yeah, but what's the point? No, but if you can install Windows 11 on all these PCs, why restrict it? That's what I'm saying. I just don't see the point. Now I've tested Windows 11 on a virtual PC. To be honest with you, I'm not that keen on it. You know, there's certain things that they hide, you know, or you have to go to a menu to get these things, you know, like to delete. I don't know. I just find it a bit weird to use. But then again, when I went from Windows 7 to Windows 10, I was quite reluctant to use Windows 10, but now I'm used to Windows 10. So would I go back to Windows 7? Probably not, because I'm too used to Windows 10, and I think that's the problem. Maybe once I get used to Windows 11, you know, that will become the norm. I'll get used to all its functions and all that, but they keep updating things and keep changing things. And the one thing I don't want is this AI shit. I don't like it. I don't want to use it. This brings me on to Windows 12, and that's going to be released possibly next year. No, this year. It's 2024. So Windows 12, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be released in October. Excuse me. And that's going to be fully AI, what I'm led to believe. And that ain't going to be a very good operating system for me, because who wants all this AI shit? So Windows 10 next year, October, is going to be at the end of its life. So no more updates, no more security patches, unless you have Windows 10 LTSC, long-term service something, I don't know, long-term service, it begins with a C. I knew what it was, but now I've fucking forgotten. Yeah, long-term. So you're basically, if you're running this Windows, it's Windows Enterprise LTSC. If you're running that, you're going to get updates for at least another 10 years, apparently. And there's also another option. If you're running Windows 10, you can pay for updates for the next 3 years, but why the fuck would you want to do that? And apparently I think it's about 60% of PCs today are still using Windows 10, maybe because of these upgrade requirements, which I find pointless, because you can run Windows 11 anyway. So why have we got all these restrictions, as there's a way around it? Even Microsoft says you can do it, but they don't recommend it. Of course they won't recommend it. Of course they won't recommend it. But why would they do that if they're not selling Windows 11? You know, you think, oh right, yeah, come on, we'll put them all in this PC so we can support older PCs, so they sell more licensing keys. You know, make more money on Windows 11. But isn't it a free upgrade if you got Windows 10, like they did with Windows 7 and 8? Windows 11 was a free upgrade. The Windows 10 was a free upgrade, sorry. Windows 8 was just shit. I didn't use that. It was just utter shit. Windows 8 8.1 was probably the worst Windows operating system. I didn't install it, but I tried it on a virtual machine and it was crap. So I didn't even bother installing that on my main system. But now it comes to a decision next year though. So I have used, sorry about this, Windows 11 on a virtual machine, you know, just to get used to it, just play around with it. But I'm just finding things are very weird with it. It's been out since 2021, so it's been out at least 3 years now. So, you know, it's give it time, hopefully, to get better. But I'm hearing there's still problems with it, with updates keep messing things up with Windows 11. So currently I'm sticking with Windows 10 because even though I can upgrade, even though my computer's unsupported, I'm just keeping it, I'm just waiting. Will Microsoft change these restrictions, I wonder, knowing that Windows 11 is not selling very well? You know, they've fucked themselves up there at the end of the day. You know, you'd think, okay, we'll support some of these older systems. No, not at this occasion. You know, there's probably people out there with 10-year-old systems. Nothing wrong with them. But, you know, they want everyone to chuck their old computers away and buy new ones because Microsoft thinks, oh, everyone's got money. They got money to buy a new computer, surely. My computer's 7 years old. Nothing wrong with it. I can still use the latest browsers, you know, latest stuff. My computer runs fine. So why not? Microsoft, what the fuck's going on? What's the deal with you? You know, why has everything got to be all these restrictions? And the restrictions are quite high. And as I said, an older PC can run Windows 11, no problem. So if you just ain't got the TPM 2.0 secure boot, maybe it's all down to security, I don't know. 4 gig, I can understand 4 gigs of RAM maybe being a requirement, because 2 is quite low, you know, 2 gigs of RAM running Windows is quite low. So yeah, I can understand 4 or higher than that. Yeah, I get that. Maybe some very older, slower CPUs, yes, something else, but not modern, like 7 or 8 years old CPUs. They can run it, no problem. As I said, mine just falls under the bracket, but I'm running it on a virtual machine. But what's the point? Why is all these restrictions? And you know, I don't know what Microsoft's up to. I mean, I just think they do make some really bad decisions. Like Windows 8.1. That was just 8.1. That was just shit. One of the worst Windows operating system. But I think it was the worst. To me, that was the worst. I can't think of anything else that was worse than that. People go on about Millennium Edition. I didn't think that was too bad. I know what they did was take out the DOS element out of that, you know, so you couldn't boot to DOS like you could with Windows 95 and 98, but apart from that, it was really not a problem. XP was, I didn't really use XP that much, except when I went, yeah, I did actually, I did work. It was, no, Vista was the one that I didn't use much. I did use it briefly, but then Windows 7 came out, I just went to Windows 7. Windows 7 is probably one of the best operating systems out there. Windows 7, I got used to Windows 10. I didn't like it at first, but I got used to it. You know, it's not bad now, but Windows 11, I'm not too sure about. Maybe I have to get used to it. Maybe if Microsoft brings down the restrictions, which they can, I don't see why not. Windows 12 or whatever it's going to be called, or future Windows, it looks like it's all going to be fucking AI, and I don't know, it's just things that we all got to get used to, I guess. It's all change. Well, I suppose none of us like change, but we've got to get used to it, I guess. So what currently are you using? Are you using Windows or are you using Linux? That's another alternative, but the problem with Linux, I've got none of my software is compatible with Linux, so I have to get all new software, so I don't really want to do that. So it'll have to be Windows, unless there's something else equivalent to Windows which you can use Windows software with. Get on that, someone. Yeah, so what are you using? I'm still using Windows 10, and I'm waiting till next year to, you know, see what options I get when it goes, you know, when security updates are no longer a thing. Well, that'll be October next year. Who knows what's going to happen? There'll be a decision to make. There will be a big decision to make. What do? I don't know at the moment, so I'm waiting till next year, unless in the meantime I upgrade my computer, or if Microsoft makes any changes. I do not know. So what are we going to do? I do not know at the moment. I'll make that decision closer to next year, maybe when the time's, you know, when you go, oh shit, they're going to stop updating Windows 10. And I'm certainly not going to pay for updates. That's another thing. Anyway, going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.